Hey everyone, it's Dabakeb here. I saw in the forums that Blizzard is thinking about doing some balance changes, some buffs and some nerfs. So I thought I would make this quick video and discuss my thoughts about them. So first off is Mei. Apparently Mei is sort of struggling in the competitive scene. She's not being picked very commonly, and particularly with her ults, not feeling very strong. I actually kind of agree with those opinions. I feel like Mei is kind of like one of those characters like Bastion, wherein when you first start the game, she seems incredibly annoying. But the more you play, the less of a threat she feels. And I think a lot of that is because of her speed, in that in order for her to reliably kill a lot of characters, she needs to get the freeze in, which basically means that she really only excels in a 1 versus 1 scenario. But like in a team fight, it's kind of difficult for her to get the freeze off because there's so much stuff going on that she just can't afford to hang out and left click someone for 2 to 3 seconds. There's actually a Overwatch game I put up a little while ago where the enemy team was totally uncoordinated, and I just kept like waltzing through to the back line and freezing their Mercy, and they just let me do it. But if they put on any sort of pressure on me, then that strategy wouldn't have worked at all, because while it's very hard to escape Mei, Mei can really only excel if she has time, because she's just gotta invest to get to you and to freeze you. And if there's a lot of pressure on her, then she just has to peel off and escape. So they're thinking about changing her ult, making it slightly more powerful, pierce barriers, make it a little bit broader, like a larger area of effect. I'm not sure exactly how they should change it, but I do think that her ult is a little bit weak. I've always seen her ult as effectively a less strong Zarya ult. I mean, it's a little bit larger area, and I think it does a little bit more damage, but the problem with it is that you can just escape it, especially if you got a movement ability like a Genji dash or a Tracer blink. You just get out of it, problem solved. Whereas Zarya's ult is instantaneous, you get hit, and you're basically stuck there until the duration ends. So it's very difficult for me to see a scenario where I feel like Mei's ult is better than Zarya's ult. So I think putting some love under that ability would probably be a good idea. Next up we have Mercy. Blizzard is thinking about doing something with Mercy, but they are not sure what. They toyed with the idea of giving her a hot effect, as in heal over time. So after you're done healing someone, they've got a hot for a couple seconds, but they're not quite sure. I also think that Mercy could probably use a little bit of love. This is also very meta-based. Like right now, Lucio and Zenyatta just dominate the field. And I think some of that has to do with Genji, actually, because we're kind of in like the era of Genji. And Genji is just the healer slayer, and if Genji can like destroy the healer early on, then he can mop up the rest of the team. So it's kind of worth noting that Zenyatta and Lucio both coincidentally have ults that basically negate Genji's Dragon Blade. So I think that's why they're so popular. Up at the very, very high levels of skill, you hear the Genji like fire off his ult, and then immediately the Zenyatta heal comes out. Immediately Lucio drops a beat, and that gives you the necessary protection to survive the oncoming Genji onslaught. Whereas with Mercy, hers is more reactive. Like a good Genji will instantly go for the healer. So he'll just Dragon Blade, slice, kill the Mercy, and in that case her ult's worthless because she'll be the first one to die in almost every situation. So it's difficult to say if Mercy is like super weak, or if she's weak because Genji's so strong and popular right now. But I do feel like compared to Zenyatta and Lucio, she feels a little bit lacking, just in that like if the person that she's left clicking is fully healed, or the person she's right clicking isn't doing any damage, and you're basically fighting with 5 players instead of 6, it's very easy for Mercy to do nothing, and it's very easy for her ult to not be useful because she like dies first. So it's kind of awkward. We've also got potential nerfs coming to Zenyatta. This might be the briefest that Blizzard has ever allowed any hero to shine in the sun after a buff. Zenyatta sucked for so long, and they finally gave him some love, and he got popular for like a month, and now they're like, oh, no, we gotta bash him back down to oblivion. So they're thinking about changing his Discord orb, which I've got mixed feelings about this. Yes, Zenyatta is quite strong right now. Yes, Discord orb is quite strong, but so I don't know if you guys know this, but a little while ago, Blizzard, in keeping with their heroes counter other hero strategy philosophy of designing this game, they changed how Discord Orb worked, and they made it so that a bunch of abilities get rid of Discord Orb. So Reaper's Wraith Form gets rid of it, the Zarya Bubble gets rid of it, let me see, there was another one. Recall gets rid of it. So that used to not be the case, but they implemented it in to make like Zenyatta a little bit more counterable. So if Zenyatta's giving you trouble, you can just switch to Zarya, and then suddenly you have like 2 cleanses. You can cleanse yourself of the orb, you can cleanse a friendly target of the orb. So I'm a little bit disappointed that this is their solution. I mean, Zenyatta's good, but he still has very obvious weaknesses. Those being his healing isn't super strong, and he doesn't really have any escapes with the exception of his ult. So, you know, the one thing that really made him stand out was his orb. His orb's really cool, and they nerfed it once by adding counters, which is a great way to design this game because Overwatch is all about counters. And now they're just thinking about dropping the numbers, which is a little bit lazy and crappy for Zenyatta. So I don't know if that's necessary. If they do that, I kind of hope that they up his healing orb potential a little bit, because Zenyatta is a decent healer, but he's not a fast healer by any means. So, like, the thing that he brought to the table was offensive power. You use Zenyatta to kill people and use his ult to stop Genji. So, if you bring down his offensive powerhouse, then you need to give him something else to level him out a little bit, in my opinion. Otherwise, I think if they nerf his orb from like 50% down to 25 or something, I think he's going to be too useless, because his orbs aren't going to make a lot of difference, and there's going to be characters who can just get rid of the orbs. So I don't know. I just think that will make him a little bit too weak potentially, though we'll have to see. They might just bring it down from like 50% to 45%, in which case it won't even, you know, that won't be a major nerf at all. But we'll see, I guess. Last but not least, we have Genji. Apparently, Blizzard has discovered a bug wherein Genji was not properly triggering the Junkrat trap when he dashed through them. And I kind of have to wonder, like, the sort of skeptical part of me thinks that this wasn't like, oh, look, here's the code. The code is a bug. That's strange. I feel like what that actually was that Blizzard is sort of feeling like Genji's a little bit too strong, which is what the forums are kind of coming to the same conclusion of. And so they're like, oh geez, what can we do? Like, how can we fix Genji? Like, let's all like go back and just check everything and make sure that there's nothing crazy in the math that's making Genji stronger than it should be. And then someone's like, oh, well, maybe we could make it so that he's dashing and he triggers a Junkrat trap. Maybe that's a slight nerf that we could do. Maybe that was even originally intentionally what was supposed to be the case, but I think the reason why they found that bug is because they were looking for ways to sort of stealth nerf Genji without some sort of, you know, fundamental overhaul, like reducing his shuriken damage or increasing his cooldowns or dropping his health. This is just sort of like a super easy, non-controversial nerf that they could give him to make him slightly more counterable, because I think that's one of the biggest complaints about Genji is he's so fast, he's so mobile, and with the deflect it's just very hard to counter him, and a Genji and a Junkrat trap is in a lot of trouble. So this video is part of my effort to focus a little bit more on commentary. I'd like to make more commentary because they're just super easy to make. Basically you just put out a couple gameplay clips, do voiceover, put it all together. You can make one of these videos in like 20 minutes fairly easily. The 10 facts about Soldier 76 was very popular, but that, as you might imagine, took much longer to make. and it didn't get quite as many views as I was hoping for, though I think I'll probably make some more just to see. Anyways, let me know if you are interested in more of these, just sort of like, you know, what are my thoughts about something? This is an update and I want to talk about it. Are you interested in these types of commentary videos? Let me know in the comments, give me an upvote if yes, give me a downvote if no, and if people like them, maybe I'll try and make this a daily or every other day type of video. Alright, well, thanks for watching, Dapicab out.